So today we will go to chapter 5, but before going to chapter 5, I want you to go back to the 4th chapter, because there is one important thing I skipped in my talks. So you will find that on page 151. Now you study the thought processes, the eye-door thought process, ear-door thought process, and so on. Now there are some conditions that a thought process needs to arise. And there are different conditions for different thought processes. So number one is the eye-door thought process. For the eye-door thought process to arise, we need 4 conditions. That means in order to see something, we need 4 conditions. So the first one is eye sensitivity, or in Pali, chakku pasada. So eye sensitivity means the sensitive particles in the eye, where the image strikes and where through which we see an object. We may simply say the eyes. So you need to have the eyes, because if you do not have the eyes, you cannot see, and there can be no seeing consciousness or no eye-door thought process. And also the second thing you need is a visible object. There must be something to be seen. If there is nothing to be seen, there can be no seeing. So we need something to see. And see is light, aloka. If it is dark, even though we have the eyes, even though there is the visible object, seeing cannot arise. So we need light also. And the 4th, or D, is attention. It is here called manasikara. But manasikara here means 5 sense door adverting. So that means turning to the object. If your mind does not turn to the object, then you will not see it. So we need these 4 conditions to see something, for the eye-door thought process to arise. And for the ear-door, when we hear something, the first thing we need is ear sensitivity. Again, the sensitive parts in the ears, where we pick up vibrations of sound and then we experience the sound. So the ears is one condition. And B, the second condition is sound, saddharamana. When there is no sound or noise, there can be no hearing. So in order to hear something, there must be something to be heard. So sound or noise. And then we need space, the third one, akasa. When there is no space, sound waves cannot travel, and so they cannot reach our ears. So space is also a condition for ear-door thought process to arise. And the last one is attention, the same as the eye-door thought process. So if you do not pay attention, if your mind does not turn towards the noise or sound, you will not hear the noise or sound. So for ear-door thought process, also you need these 4 conditions. And then nose-door thought process, when you smell something. The first thing you need is nose sensitivity, so sensitive particles of matter in the nose, through which you experience smell. And then next one is smell, something to be smelled. And the third one is air element, or vayodhatu. When there is no air, smell cannot travel, smell cannot reach our noses. So air element or vayodhatu is also a condition for nose door process to arise. And the last one is attention, again turning towards the object, or 5 sense door adverting. And for the tongue door process to arise, we need the first one is tongue sensitivity, that means taste buds in the tongue, and then taste, something to be tasted, something to be experienced. So taste is the second condition. And the third is water element, apo dhatu, moisture, something like that. If the tongue is not moist and the food is not moist, we cannot have the taste. So water element is also a condition for tongue door thought process or knowing the taste to arise. And then the last one is again attention, the five sense door adverting. For the body door thought process to arise, we need four. The first one is body sensitivity, sensitive parts in the body. So it is said that body sensitivity resides all over the body, except at the tip of nails and in the hair. So everywhere except them, there is a body sensitivity. That is why we experience body sensitivity or we experience touch everywhere in our body. So body sensitivity is one thing we need. And the second one is tangible object, something that can be touched, a hard object or a soft object. So something that can be touched is also required for the body door thought process to arise. And then the earth element, Pathavi Dhatu. Now the earth element in Abhidhamma is not necessarily the earth. It is the quality that inheres in the earth. So when you pick up a piece of earth, you feel this hardness or softness of that thing. So that hardness or softness is what we call earth element. So when there is touch, there is the earth element, there is the hardness or softness. So it is one of the conditions. And then the last one is attention. For a mind or thought process to arise, now when mind or thought process arise, you do not use your eyes, ears and so on. You use your mind. So in that case, the heart base is one requirement. If you remember the section on bases in the third chapter, consciousness, when it arises in the human beings, in the woeful states, in the devas and in some brahmas, it needs a physical base. Without a physical base, consciousness cannot arise. So seeing consciousness depends on the eye base, hearing consciousness on ear base and so on. The other types of consciousness depend on the heart base. So heart base is the seat of consciousness other than the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching consciousness. And then the second one is mental objects or Dhamma Ramana. These are the objects of mind, not objects that are mental. They can be both physical and mental. But when you come to the sixth chapter, you will see that although there are 28 types of material properties, only one of them can be seen. The others are understood with mind. You do not see them with your eyes. So there are some objects that are called mental objects, like chetas, cetasikas, and some material properties, and also some concepts. So they are called mental objects. So there must be some object for your mind to be conscious of. And then the third requirement is the bhavanga. Because without bhavanga, mind or thought process will not arise. The mind or thought process arises through the bhavanga. So bhavanga is one, requirement. And the last one is again, attention. But here attention means mind or adverting, manodvara vajana. With regard to eye door process and so on, we need 5 sense door adverting, and with regard to mind or thought process, we need mind or adverting, because if the mind is not adverted towards the object, we will not have this mind or thought process. So if you think of something, your mind needs to be adverted or turned to the object. So these are the 4 conditions depending on which mind or thought process arises. So these are the conditions for seeing, hearing and so on to arise. When the author of the manual classified the consciousness, he classified them as kama vajara, rupa vajara, arupa vajara, and lokuttara. Sense sphere, form sphere or fine material sphere, and immaterial sphere. So that means the consciousness that frequently arises in the sense sphere existences or sense sphere realms, or consciousness that frequently arises in the fine material sphere realms and so on. So the consciousness are related to the realms, to the existences. Although we just know that these 54 types of consciousness belong to sense sphere and so on, we have not studied these realms in detail. So in the 5th chapter, at the beginning of the 5th chapter, the author gave us these realms, and there are altogether 31 realms called 31 planes of existence. Now please turn to the note, Cosmic System of Buddhism. So according to Abhidhamma and according to the teachings of the Buddha, there are 31 planes of existence or 31 realms. So we need to understand these 31 realms. Later on we will study that they have relations with different types of consciousness. Now we will begin from the bottom, not from the top. And the lowest one is, number 1 is what? Niraya. And Niraya means hell. Oh, I think in the book you can have the English words. I want you to be familiar with the Pali words. I want you to not to be afraid of Pali words. So I am confronting you with Pali words whenever I can. So in my charts I use the Pali words. But when Bhikkhu Bodhi prepared this book, he turned them into English. So the first, number 1 is in Pali, Niraya. So in English it is hell. So hell is one realm or one plane of existence. And it is explained that hell is situated in the earth. Buddhist hell is different from Christian hell. So if you are asked, is there hell in Buddhism? You don't just say yes or no. You must tell them that yes, there is hell in Buddhism, but it is different. Because in Buddhism, hell is like a prison. So you commit a crime and then you are put into prison for some time, and then after that time you can get out of that prison. So in the same way, you do some akusala or evil deeds, and then as a result of the akusala, you will be reborn there for some period of time. But don't think it lightly, because even in the shortest duration of hell, one day there is equal to 9 million human years. So if you are to go to hell and suffer for just one day there, it means 9 million years for human beings. So hell is a place where there is pain and misery. Actually, it is said that those who are reborn in hell constantly suffer pain and misery. So people suffer as a result of their wrongdoings in the past. And there are said to be 8 great hells. So they are given in the book on page 190. Now, the top line, the commentators state that there are 8 great hells of increasing intensity of torment. They are named, so they are the names of the great hells: Sanjiva, Kalasutta, Sanghata, Roruva, Maharoruva, Tapana, Mahatapana, and Avicci. So these are the 8 great hells. Now these are to be found not in the commentaries only. In the texts themselves, these 8 hells are to be found. In one of the Jatakas, the 8 hells are mentioned. And also in the book called Kathavatu, the hells are mentioned by name. So it is not only in the commentaries, but even in the texts themselves, the hells are mentioned. And so there are 8 great hells, and of these, Avicci is the lowest and most terrible. It is said that Devadatta is now suffering in that hell. You know Devadatta, Buddha's cousin, who tried to kill the Buddha and who successfully caused the schism in the Sangha. So he committed this heinous crime, and so as a result he is reborn in the lowest and most terrible hell called Avicci. And each great hell is surrounded on each of its 4 sides by 5 minor hells. I don't know where he got this information from, because in the Jataka commentary it is not 5 but 4. On 4 sides there are 4 minor hells, and so it comes to 128, and plus the 8 hells, altogether there are 136 hells, according to the commentary to Jataka. When you go to some temples, you may see people suffering torture in hell. They want to frighten you so that you are afraid of doing akusala or evil deeds. So hell is the lowest of the 31. planes of existence, and in Pali it is called Niraya. And number 2, 3 and 4 belong to the same plane, so they are put on one line. Number 2 is Tirachana Yoni, animal kingdom. So animal kingdom is also a woeful state. That means where pain and misery predominate. Although the animal realm does not involve as much misery as the hells, it is included in the woeful planes because the suffering there greatly exceeds the amount of happiness. So the animals have more suffering than happiness. And because it does not provide suitable conditions for the performance of meritorious deeds. So once you are reborn as an animal, it would be very difficult for you to get a chance to get kusala, to get meritorious deed or the wholesome state of mind. And according to the teachings of Abhidhamma, a human being can be reborn as an animal, and also an animal can be reborn as a human being or even as a deva. It is not evolution, it is just rebirth. So it cannot be taken as regress when a human being is reborn as an animal. It is just he dies in here and then he is reborn there. So a human being can be reborn as an animal, and an animal can be reborn as a human being. That is because the beings have store of both wholesome karma and unwholesome karma. Sometimes we do wholesome karma, sometimes we do unwholesome karma. So we have this store of karma, good karma and bad karma. And actually these karmas are waiting for a chance to give results. So when the unwholesome karma gets a chance to give results, then we get undesirable results like rebirth as an animal and so on. Even when one is reborn as an animal, if his store of wholesome karma gets chance to give results, then he will get out of that birth and then be reborn as a human being or even as a deva. Now you remember or you know an animal who is reborn as a deva? And a frog deva. So there's a story of a frog. It is said that Buddha was once giving a talk, and a frog was listening to the talk. He may not know the meaning of the Dhamma, but he paid attention to the sound of Buddha's voice giving the speech. So at that time, a cowboy came and accidentally he put his staff on the frog and killed the frog. He didn't know that he was killing the frog, but the frog was killed. But because the frog was killed, he died while listening to the Dhamma of the Buddha. It is said that he was reborn as a celestial being, not as a human being, but as a celestial being. So beings can be reborn like that. A being belonging to a lower realm can be reborn in a higher realm, and being reborn in a higher realm can be reborn in the lower realm, and so on. That all depends on one's karma. And then number 3 is called Pitti Visaya. Pitti Visaya means the sphere of petas. Now you see the word peta in the book. Peta is usually translated as hungry ghosts. Now, the literal meaning of the word Peta is just one who has passed away. So who died from this life, so who has passed away. But not just passed away, but in his next life, he is tormented by intense hunger and thirst, as well as other afflictions from which they cannot find relief. So the sphere of Petas, or the realm of Petas, is also a woeful state. So they always suffer intense hunger and thirst. They do not get enough water to satisfy their thirst. They do not get enough food to eat and so on. And so they are also in suffering all the time. And they live in the same world as human beings, in forests, bogs, cemeteries, etc., though they remain invisible to humans except when they display themselves or are perceived by those with the divine eye. So that is why we cannot see the Petas or the ghosts. Although we cannot see them, they are around us. They may even be in this hall. So if they want us to see them, then they can show them to us. So normally we cannot see them. But if we have the divine eye, the abhinya of divine eye, then we can see them. So they are called Pitti Visaya, or sphere of Petas. So those who have passed away and those who are always in suffering. And the last one is called Asura Kaya. It is translated as the host of Asuras. Now they are often translated as titans, and is used to refer to various classes of beings. So they are more or less like the Petas. They are tormented spirits, very similar to the Petas. Now there are two kinds of Asuras. These Asuras belong to the woeful state, and so they are always in suffering. But there is another kind of Asura mentioned in the books who are enemies of gods. They belong to Tawatingsa heaven, the number 2 of the celestial world. So here, by Asura Kaya, we mean those who are in the woeful states or woeful planes, and those who are tormented spirits, very, very similar to the Petas. Now these 1, 2, 3, 4 are called Apaya. Now on the left you see the word Apaya. Apaya means devoid of happiness. Now apa means no or devoid, and aya means here happiness. So apaya means the realm that is devoid of happiness, that is devoid of comfort. So apaya realms are those where suffering prevails, and so it is called the woeful state. So these 4 are called woeful states, and number 2, 3, and 4 may belong to the same plane as human beings. And Nirya or hell is said to be situated in the earth. Now above these 4 is the Manusa, human beings. So human plane or human realm or the plane of human beings. So you all know the human realm. And human realm is included in what is called Kama Sugati. blissful realm. Now, in the realm of human beings, there is both suffering and happiness. Now, sometimes we suffer and sometimes we have happiness. But human realm is called a sugati, or a blissful destination, because it offers the opportunity for attaining the highest happiness. So it is considered a blissful realm. It is a sugati where it is good to be reborn. As a human being, you can reach the highest stage in the spiritual attainment, that is, you can even become the Buddha. And as a human being, if you are really wicked, if you are really bad, you can go down to Avijji hell. So, human beings are most intelligent among the beings, and they can go as high as reaching Nibbana, and they can go down as low as the Avijji hell. And above the human realm, there are 6 realms of devas. Now let us use the word deva for these 6 realms, celestial realms. D-E-V-A. Now there are 6 deva realms, and they also belong to Kama Sugati, sense sphere, blissful destination. The first of them is Chatu Maharajika. Now Chatu means 4 and Maharaja means great kings. So it is the abode of 4 great kings, 4 great god kings. It is said that these 4 great kings protect the 4 directions of Mount Meru. Now, although Mount Meru is not mentioned here, it is believed that Mount Meru is situated in the middle of this universe. And it has 4 sides. And so there are 4 great kings protecting each direction. In the east, King Dattaratha rules over the Gandhabas. You can read it in the book, Celestial Musicians. So the east direction is protected by King Dattaratha. He is a celestial king. And the south protected by Virulhaka, who presides over the Kumbhandas, the gnomic caretakers of forests, mountains, and hidden treasures, some kind of spirits. And the west direction is protected by the king Virupakha, who rules over the Nagas, or demigods in the form of dragons. And in the north direction is protected by the king Vissavana, the ruler of yakhas or spirits. So this realm on 4 sides protected by these 4 great kings, and so this realm is called Chatu Maharajika. Above them there is a second deva realm called Tawatingsa. I think you are familiar with Tawatingsa, because Abhidhamma was taught by the Buddha in the Tawatingsa heaven. So the second deva realm is called Tawatingsa. Tawatingsa means 33 gods. So originally there were 33 human beings who work for the welfare of all people, and then when they died, they are reborn there. One was their leader and the others the followers. Since there are altogether 33 gods, and the realm is called 33, or in Pali, Tawatingsa. The chief of this realm is Sakka, the king of gods. Sometimes he is called Inda. Devanam Inda, Lord of the Devas, Lord of the celestial beings. And he resides in the Vijayanta palace in the realm's capital city, Sudarsana. So this is the second realm where not only these 33 gods, also their followers or their retinue live. Now the third Deva realm is called Yama. So it is a realm of great happiness presided over by their ruler, the divine king Suyama or Yama. So this is one realm of gods. And above them is number 4, Tusita. Now Tusita is also maybe familiar with you, because Tusita is the Deva realm where bodhisattvas are reborn before they came down to the human world and became Buddhas. And Tusita is a Deva realm. Many people choose to be reborn. It is said that the future bodhisattva is now in that realm. And as you know, Buddha's mother, Mahamaya, was reborn there. But when Buddha taught Abhidhamma in Tawatingsa, he came down to Tawatingsa and listened to the teaching of Abhidhamma. So Mahamaya was reborn in Tusita. And our Bodhisattva also was reborn in Tusita before he came down to the human world. Above Tusita is Nimmana Rati. Nimmana means creating, and Rati means enjoying or taking delight. So Nimmana Rati means the devas who take delight in the sensual enjoyment they themselves create. So if they want to enjoy something, then they will create that and then they will enjoy that object. So they are called Nimmana Rati. And the last, number 6, is called Paranimita Vasavati. Now Paranimita means created by others. Vasavati means exercising power over. So that means these gods do not create the things themselves, but they let other gods create the enjoyments for them and they enjoy them. So these are the two kinds of gods, the Nimmana Rati and Paranimita Vasavati. One creating for themselves, and the others letting other people create, and then they enjoy the creation. Sometimes I think we are Paranimita Vasavati. People create things for us and we enjoy them. Many things are invented nowadays, right? And whatever is reinvented and sold on the market, we just go and buy and make use of them. So we are like Paranimita Vasavati gods. Now these are the 6 realms of devas, and they are also called Sugati. So The human beings are also called Sugati. Therefore, there are altogether 7 realms of Sugati, and they belong to sense sphere, and so they are called Kama Sugati. Up to now, how many have we got? How many realms? 4 woeful planes, 1 human plane, and 6 deva planes, altogether 11. So these 11 are called Kama Vachara realms, where sense desire predominate. So there are 11 Kama Vachara planes. Now you remember the consciousness that are called Kama Vachara consciousness. So Kama Vachara consciousness are so called because they frequently arise in these 11 Kama Vachara planes. But that does not mean that they do not arise in Rupa Vachara and Arupa Vachara plane also. But they mostly arise in these 11 Kama Vachara realms, and so they are called Kama Vachara consciousness, or sense sphere consciousness. Now we come to what are called Brahmas. Now, please note that Deva and Brahma are 2 kinds of beings. Although sometimes the word Deva may also include Brahmas, now here in this system, let us say Devas are different from Brahmas. So Devas are those that are reborn in these Deva realms, and they have all 6 senses, and they do not lack any of the senses, and they have more happiness than the human beings and those born in 4 woeful states. Now above them, there is a realm called Rupa Vachara. These are Brahma realms. Now Brahmas are those who lack in what material things? No sensitivity, no tongue sensitivity, no body sensitivity. So they are different. They are actually higher beings than the Devas. And these Rupa Vachara realms are divided into 1st jhana realm, 2nd jhana realm, 3rd jhana realm, and 4th jhana realms. The 1st jhana realm consists of 3 realms. Number 1, Brahma Parisajja. Number 2, Brahma Purohita. And number 3, Mahabrahma. So in English they are the realm of Brahma's retinue, that is Brahma Parisajja. And number 2, Brahma Purohita, the realm of Brahma's ministers. And 3, Mahabrahma realm, or realm of great Brahmas. So these are the 3 Brahma realms, and they are situated on the same plane, on the one plane. So that is why they are given here on one plane or in one line. So these are called 1st jhana Brahma realms, because if you get 1st jhana here and you keep the 1st jhana intact and you die, you will be reborn in one of these 3 Brahma realms. So to be reborn in these 3 Brahma realms, you need to get 1st jhana. So they are called 1st jhana realms, 3. And then above them there are 3 2nd jhana realms. The first of the 2nd jhana realm, or number 4, is called Parittabha in English. So the realm of minor lust. And number 5, the realm of infinite luster, and number 5, the realm of radiant luster. So the Abha means light or luster, Parita means little, Appamana means infinite, and Abhasada means the light flashing. So it is called radiant luster. So in order to be reborn in these 3, you have to have second and third jhana. And you have to have them intact when you die. And above them there are 3 third jhana planes. And they are number 7, Parita Subha, the minor aura. And then number 8, Appamana Subha, the infinite aura, and number 9, Subhakinha, the realm of steady aura. So these 3 are also the Brahma planes, and they are called third jhana Brahma planes. In order to be reborn there, you need to get 4th jhana and keep it intact until you die. And above them, there are 7 4th jhana realms. The first of them is number 10, Vihapala, the realm of great reward. Phala means fruit or reward, and Viha here means great or big. So the realm of great reward. And then Asanya Satta, the realm of non-percipient beings, the realm of beings without mind. In order to be reborn there, you need to have 5th jhana. And above the 2 Vihapala and Asanyasada, there are 5 Brahma realms called Suddha Vasa, abode of pure beings. So there are 5 of them, and the first one is Aviha, durable realm, and second Attapa, serene realm, and 14 Suddhasa, the beautiful realm, and the 4th Suddhasi, the clear-sighted realm, and 5 the highest realm. So in Pali they are called Aviha, Attapa, Suddhasa, Suddhasi, and Akanita. So altogether there are 16 of them, 3, 3, 3, 2, and 5. So these 16 are called Rupa Vachara realms. So they are Rupa Vachara Brahmas. And among them, number 11, Asanyasada, has physical body only and no mind. The others have both mind and body, or mind and matter. Above the 16 Rupa Vachara realms, there are 4 Arupa Vachara realms. And they are number 1, Akasanancha Yatana realm. Now they are the same as the names of consciousness you met in the first chapter. So if you get Akasanancha Yatana jhana here and you keep it intact until you die, and when you die you will be reborn in that realm of Arupa Brahmas. The second one is called Vinyananjayatana. Again, it is the same as the name of the consciousness. And the third is Akinchanyayatana. Again, the name of the third Arupa Vajra consciousness. And the fourth, Nivasanya Nasanyayatana. Name of the fourth Arupa Vajra jhana. So, these Brahmas have no physical body. So there are only Chitta and Cetasikas. There is only mind for them. So they can be called bodiless Brahmas, and the others Asanyasada, mindless Brahmas. So this is the realm of those Brahmas, and so there are altogether 31 realms, 31 planes of existence. And there is no more planes of existence, just these 31. When you get beyond these 31, you get into Nibbana. So again, let us go from the bottom. So the bottom 4 are called Apaya. And then 7 above them are called Kama Sukati. Apaya 4 and Kama Sukati 7 are called Kama Vajra realms. So there are 11 Kama Vajra realms. And above the 11 Kama Vajra realms, there are 16 Rupa Vajra realms. And the 16 Rupa Vajra realms are 3 first jhana, 3 second jhana, 3 third jhana, and 7 fourth jhana realms. Among the 7 fourth jhana realms, the 5 highest of them are called Suddha Vasa realms. So Suddha Vasa realms begin with number 12, Aviha, and ends with 16, Akanita. 3 first jhana realms, 3 second jhana realms, 3 third jhana realms, and 7 fourth jhana realms are called Rupa Vajra realms. So they are the abode of the Brahmas that have Rupa and also Nama. And above them are 4 Arupa Vajra realms, where there is no matter, where there are only Chittas and Cetasikas. 16 Rupa Vajra realm and 4 Arupa Vajra realm, altogether 20 are Brahma Loka, the world of Brahmas. And then the 6th, beginning with Chatu Maharajika and ending with Paranimita Vasavati, are called Deva Loka, 6 Deva realms. And then human realm is just human realm. And the lowest 4, beginning with Niraya and ending with Asurakaya, are called Apaya Loka. So altogether we get 31 planes of existence. Now please turn to page 193. Section 8. By way of individuals. In the pure abode, that means Aviha, Atapa, Sudasa, Sudasi, Akaneta. In the pure abode, no worldlings, no putrojanas, stream enterers, no sotapannas, or once returners, no sagaragamis are found. That means in these 5 abodes, there are no putrojanas, no sotapannas, and no sakadagamis. Only the anagamis are reborn there. So an anagami is reborn in one of these 5, and then he will become an arahant. So in the 5 pure abodes, how many individuals can we get? Putrojanas, yes or no? No. Sotapatti Magat, Maga person? No. Sotapatti Phala person? No. Once returner Maga person? No. Once returner Phala person? No. Non-returner Maga person? Yes or no? non-returner phala person? Yes. And then Arahata Magga person? Not maybe, yes. Because he can become an Arahant there, right? He can reach Arahata Magga and Arahata Phala. So, in the 5 Sodavasas, we can have how many types of individuals? Only 3, right? So you turn to planes and individuals. So there you will see Sodavasa 5. How many individuals do you get? Anagami Phala, right? And then Arahata Magga and Arahata Phala. 3 individuals. So 3 multiplied by 5, we get 15 types of individuals in 5 Sodavasa abodes. So this chart shows what individuals you can find in what planes. And then let us read the section 8 again. Noble ones are not found in the non-recipient realm. So in the Asanya Satttas, there can be no noble persons. Only a worldling can be reborn as the mindless being. And then no nobles are found in the woeful planes. So noble persons will not be reborn in 4 woeful states. Once you become a Sotapanna, that means once you become an Arya or a noble person, then you will not be reborn in these 4 woeful states. In other planes are found both noble ones and non-noble ones. Now this is very short statement. So in order to understand in detail, we have to refer to the chart called planes and individuals. So when we read that, you know what kind of individuals can be found in what planes of existence. Now, Nirya. Oh, I don't give the key to the abbreviations. So DA means Dukkati Ahetuka. So there can be only one type of person in Nirya. Only Dukkati Ahetuka person will be reborn there. And Tirachana Yoni, animal kingdom also only one. Pitti Visaya, the hungry ghost also one. And Asura Kaya, host of Asura also one. Then Manusa, human being, in the human realm. How many types of individuals can be found in the human realms? 11. Now, out of 12, we can find 11 types of individuals in the human world. So there, SA means Sugati Ahetuka, DV means Dvihetuka Putojana, T means Tihetuka Putojana. And SOM means Sodapati Maggata, SOPH Sodapati Phalata, SAM Sagadagami Maggata, SAPH Sagadagami Phalata, ANM Anagami Maggata, ANPH Anagami Phalata, ARM and Arahata Maggata, ARPH Arahata Phalata. So 11 types of individuals can be found in the world of human beings. The same number of individuals can be found in the Chatumaharajika. So in the Chatumaharajika, there can be those Sugati Ahetuka, like in human realms. So although Chatumaharajika is a Deva realm, some lower Devas that are reborn there can be deficient in their faculties and so on. So in the Chaturmaharajika, we have the 11 types of individuals that we find in the human world. But Tavanisa, beginning with Tavanisa, we do not have the Sugati Ahetuka. So to be reborn in Tavanisa, you will have a full range of faculties. There will be no deficiency. So in Tavanisa, you get 10 kinds of individuals, Yama, Tusita, Nema, Narati, Prasim, Nimitta, Vasavadi, also 10 kinds of individuals. So 10 kinds of individuals include Dvihetuka, those whose birth consciousness is accompanied by only 2 roots. But beginning with first jhana ram, 3 first jhana rams, 3 second jhana rams, 3 third jhana rams, and Vihapala, the 4th jhana ram, there are only 9. Because only those born with 3 root rebirth can be found there. No 2 root persons. And then Asanya Saddha, mindless beings. Mindless beings are called Sugati Ahetuka. Because there is no mind for them, only material properties. And material properties are categorized as Ahetuka, rootless, because they have no concomitant roots. So Asanya Saddha are called Sugati Ahetuka individuals. Only one kind of individual can be found there. And then Suddhavasa, only 3 can be found. And in Arupavajara, Tihetuka Puthojana can be found, but Sotapadimagga cannot be found. You know the reason, right? Okay. Because they have no ears to listen to. And then the others can be found. So, if you multiply what can be found with the number of the abodes, you have on the last column 1, 1, 1 and so on. And so when you add them all up, you get 214 types of individuals in different realms. So first we try to understand the 31 planes of existence, and then we try to understand how many types of individuals, because we have studied the individuals in the 4th chapter. So how many types of individuals can be found in these realms. And then next, we want to know how people are reborn in these realms. With what type of rebirth consciousness are they reborn and so on. So we will have a break now.